Teaching assistants are a vital part of the school team, responsible for providing support to teachers and pupils to create a positive and effective learning environment. Hi everyone, I'm Zoe from My Progression, and in this video I'm going to take you through the top 10 tips for teaching assistants. As a teaching assistant, your role will include helping children with their learning and ensuring that all pupils, including those with special educational needs and disabilities or English as an additional language, receive the guidance they need to succeed. Teaching assistants are required to work across different age groups and subjects, adapting their approach to meet the needs of individual students. So you need to make sure you are flexible and organised. As well as this, you will be required to help with classroom management, lesson preparation and supporting pupil wellbeing, playing a key role in encouraging independence, confidence and engagement in learning. Whether you work in a nursery setting, primary, SEND or ALN, or secondary schools, teaching assistants contribute significantly to child development, supporting both academic progress and personal growth. During my experience as a qualified primary school teacher, I worked with many different amazing, successful and inspiring teaching assistants. Here are my top 10 tips for teaching assistants to thrive in the classroom. Top tip number 1, build relationships. Building positive relationships with children is essential. From day one with your pupils, you must establish trust and build rapport to help them feel supported and confident in their learning, as well as in their personal development. Being approachable, encouraging and patient will ensure that every child feels valued, making it easier to engage them in lessons and classroom activities. Top tip number 2, be adaptive. It's important to adapt your approach based on the age group you're working with. When teaching a new concept or revisiting previous learning, there is always going to be children who need extra support. When I was a teacher, I would always discuss with my TA prior to the lesson who they were going to be working with in different parts of the lesson. In primary schools, younger children benefit from hands-on activities, repetition and positive reinforcement to help them grasp new concepts. On the other hand, in secondary schools, pupils will require more independent learning opportunities, discussions and critical thinking support, as well as subject-specific guidance. Being adaptive means you may need to quickly change your practice and think on your feet to give pupils that extra support. Top tip number 3, encourage independence. Encouraging independence is a key part of being a teaching assistant. Rather than simply providing answers, it's important that you guide children to think critically and develop problem-solving skills. The level of independence expected depends on the age of the child and what they're capable of. Another reason why it's so important to get to know your children. Helping your pupils build independence will improve their mindset towards challenges and will boost their confidence by preparing them for future learning. For example, in Upper Key Stage 2, it is essential that pupils are encouraged to be independent to prepare them for their next stage in their academic journey, beginning Key Stage 3 in secondary school. This may include teachers giving pupils more responsibility for their own learning, for example, choosing their own layout or genre of writing, or it might involve pupils being in charge of organising themselves more for lessons and activities. Top tip number 4, know the curriculum. Supporting literacy and numeracy is a core responsibility for TAs in all year groups and settings. It is vital that, as a teaching assistant, you know the national curriculum and understand the progression in learning. The teachers you work with will be responsible for providing you with this understanding. However, it's a great idea to be proactive and research a sequence of learning for yourself so that you are the expert. Having this knowledge, for example, as a Year 7 TA, you must know what the children have learnt previously in Year 6 and know what they'll be learning in Year 8 to ensure that you're delivering learning at the correct level for the child's age and ability. Top tip number 5, be confident in managing behaviour. As a teaching assistant, it's essential that you support the teacher in behaviour management by following the behaviour policy and class routines. Helping maintain a structured and positive learning environment will support pupils in remaining on task and keep the classroom calm. Encouraging positive behaviour choices, reinforcing rules and assisting with transitions between activities all contribute to a smoother and more effective learning experience. To ensure the teacher and teaching assistant are seen as equal, it's important that any instructions given are consistent and in line with the school's behaviour policy. Now, I know what you're thinking. Behaviour management as a TA can be really difficult and you haven't received the same CPD and training as teachers. My Progression have created a behaviour management series to provide you with the tools and strategies to support your class teacher. These videos include recognising triggers, communication tips and crisis interventions. Check out this series linked in the description of this video. We aim to tailor our content to you, so comment TA below if you want more videos specific to teaching assistants. And whilst you're there, like and subscribe to support this channel. Back to our top tips then. Top tip number 6, preparation is key. Lesson preparation is an important behind-the-scenes role for teaching assistants. This isn't planning lessons, as that's a teacher's responsibility, but it's preparing for lessons. Being proactive in setting up materials, organising resources and adapting activities for different learning abilities helps ensure lessons run smoothly. A well-prepared lesson benefits both the pupils and staff in many ways. When the children know what's expected of them and don't have to wait around, behaviour is so much more positive as pupils are focused on the task in hand and less distracted. As well as this, because the lesson is ready to start immediately, the learning time is maximised and learning is seen as a priority by both staff and students. Top tip number 7, focus on students who require additional support. It is your responsibility to support all students. However, those with special educational needs and disabilities or English as an additional language will need your extra time and support. Recent government figures state that over 1.6 million students in the UK have additional needs, so you are very likely to need to know how to support them well. In a class of 30, this works out at about 6 students, which is around 20%. Supporting these students will require a good understanding of how to work with a range of different needs and support them in making the best possible progress. In order for all pupils to make progress, it's important that you understand that each child has unique needs and your support should be tailored. Now, this could come in different forms, for example by providing individual differentiated resources, being a scribe for children, taking small groups out of the classroom or repeating and remodelling the teaching. Top tip number 8, communicate with your teachers. Effective communication with teachers is vital for a teaching assistant to be successful. Regularly checking in about lesson objectives, pupil progress and classroom needs will create a strong working relationship between staff and ensures that students receive the best support possible. A good TA-teacher partnership enhances the overall learning experience for everyone involved. For example, as a TA, you must ask your teacher questions. Ask them if you need more support with subject knowledge or if you want a little bit more understanding of the progression. Communicate continuously throughout the lesson. Identify those pupils who need more support. This could include bringing them to the carpet and remodelling or providing them with more resources so they can continue to work independently. Be proactive. Although it's the teacher's job to provide you with direction, you must be proactive in moving around the classroom and working with a wide range of pupils. Make suggestions. The class teacher will appreciate your ideas. Remember, 2 brains are always better than 1. You know the pupils well and your input should always be valued. Lastly, be professional. If you notice the class teacher or another staff member making a mistake, tell them quietly away from the class. The children should see you as a united team and positive role models. For more information on TA-teacher communication, check out our video about building effective relationships, detailed in the description below. Top tip number 9, be flexible. Staying flexible is key to managing the varying demands of the role. As a teaching assistant, you may be required to move between different year groups and subjects throughout the day. It's important that you're flexible to do this by having the confidence to work with different key stages and children of different ages. For example, if you work in a primary school, you should be confident to work with both Key Stage 1 and 2 so that you can be placed in any classroom. Remember, even the most well-planned lessons may change, and that's okay. Being adaptable and flexible is part of the job, and change is normal. Pupil progress should always be at the forefront of your mind. You could be doing something different from one day to the next. Embrace this opportunity to have a dynamic role, as one thing's for sure, it's definitely not boring. Top tip number 10, continue learning and developing. Continuous learning and professional development are crucial for success as a teaching assistant. If you're here watching this video, then you've already started that process. Attending training sessions, observing experienced teachers, and seeking feedback can help improve your skills and confidence. Understanding the role of a teacher and their wide range of responsibilities will help you know how to better support them. Remember, education is always evolving, and staying up to date with education news and new teaching methods will make you an even more effective TA. Overall, by following these tips, as a teaching assistant, you can make a real difference in the classroom, providing children with the academic and emotional support that they need to thrive. Let us know the top tip that you're going to focus on in the comment section below. And as well as this, don't forget, comment TA if you want to hear more from My Progression. I've been Zoe from My Progression. Let's keep your career in motion.